Good afternoon. My name's Randy Coleman, and I am here with Rob Bishop, who is this district. He is U.S. Congressman from the North District, First District of Utah. He is homegrown here in Brigham City. Is that correct? I'm here with Rob Bishop.
Close enough, but this is my home for the last 40, 50 years, and this is such a marvelous event to have here in Brigham City. We're all proud of it. We're proud of the people who are coming here, but also the quality of play is just phenomenal. I am so super impressed. Actually, I'm a little bit embarrassed and chagrined how bad I am, but I'm impressed with these guys.
But you make a very good spectator. Is that correct? Yeah. So you enjoying watching all this high level play, and then I've been told now you're playing pickleball, and you're a seasoned six-timer, something like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. No, we started picking it up and started playing like this summer, and it is a phenomenal game that is so much more difficult than it looks. I looked at it first and said, it's a smaller court than tennis. You can do this. The way it goes, and the ball doesn't go as fast. You can do this. I can't. The way you have to cut, the way you have to move to try and get back in position, back in the center, this is a tough sport.
It's a tough sport at this level. On other levels, it has a much easier learning curve to even learn the sport as a beginning. You're in much more close proximity to your opponents and to the people you're playing with, which makes for what I've experienced all over the world, which is a much more social aspect to a game like no other. Because you're not yelling. Tennis is a phenomenal sport, but you're not yelling on a 60 by 120 court, going, "What'd you say?" You're here. Everybody's saying "good shot." Have you, even in a short time, seeing just how social this sport is, and for you and is for others? Have you experienced that?
Well, yeah, I saw it in just the last match that we were watching here, where a shot that I would have clearly said was out, the kid played it. And that's got to be a gentlemanly approach to the game. You don't see that a lot in other kinds of sports.
Yeah, and I know exactly which point you're talking about, because you're talking about a ball that landed about 3 feet from the baseline. It was a ball Tyson McGuffin played, and that could very easily have been called out. He did play the ball, and he didn't get the point, but he was still the winner of that last match. But
And the other thing that impresses me too is they have this, and obviously that comes with experience, the understanding of the size of the court. So their shots I'm always shooting past the green. I'm shooting into the other court across the net, across the fence line. But they have a clear understanding where they can get those finesse shots in here. I hope someday to be able to come up with that same kind of understanding of the dimensions of the court.
The high level play is something like no other. So they're able to manipulate the ball and do what they want. At of course this level of play. Ben Johns on the court warming up right now. His brother now, of course, a former ATP player. Ben Johns here, Colin Johns, now playing pickleball full time, and that's what you see all over the country is all these tennis players that are now either still teaching tennis or now have converted to pickleball because of this high caliber of play they get to experience. So Brigham City, has done a great job here bringing, players from all over the world and the country. This is as good as it gets, and they all love coming to Brigham. And look at the weather, look at the mountains, and look at what a great job Kyle Klein does. So it's a pleasure. Tell me about, is it your grandson that you played with, or what was the story from someone that a relative of yours playing pickleball?
No, actually, it was my son. Oh. We've come up here a couple of times to play here, but I also have some staffers back in Washington that I played, even though they're like 40 years younger than I am, which really ticks me off.
Don't you think we need to maybe get some pickleball courts? And can you think of a facility in Washington right now, maybe where we need to get a pickleball court going for some rec play for some of our congressmen and politicians? Do you think that might lighten things up a little bit in Washington?
It certainly couldn't hurt. But it's the same thing. There are no outdoor courts in Washington, D.C. There have a couple of indoor courts. The only thing we've found is trying to use some tape and on a tennis court to try and mark something off. But it would be wonderful. And the thing I was so amazed at how many people know about pickleball. I mean, I thought it's a relatively new sport. But everywhere, in fact, I was walking past from when we marked off the tennis court, we played the game. I was walking back with the paddle and the balls in hand, and I crossed two people who stopped us and said, "Oh, you're playing pickleball. Where do you actually play around here?" They all knew about the sport. They enjoyed it. This is something that is growing, and for someone like me who knows nothing, it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, and it's highly competitive as well. And highlighting on what you just said, where you go places and people know what pickleball is now. I've been traveling now on the road full time. I'm a nomad. Many people know who I am. Travel and play the game and promote the sport of pickleball. I'm a USAPA ambassador at large, so I travel nationally. When I first started to do it, I go into places, I take my paddle, I volley with them in the restaurants. Anywhere I go, I've got my paddle. Melissa McCurley, your tournament operations desk over there, Melissa McCurley of pickleballtournaments.com. Her and I, we played pickleball in the airport when we run into each other. So wherever we go, we're going to play pickleball. And what I experienced when I first started traveling is, what do you do for a living? They'd say as I'm, sitting eating my dinner by myself. And I said, well, let me show you. And at first, people are like, oh, wow, what is that? And now everywhere I go and I say I play pickleball, they go, oh, I've heard of that. So now you're seeing this transition of all across the country. Everybody seems to know, or more and more people know what pickleball now is. So communities across the country, like Brigham City, and they've done a great job with everything they've done to prepare for this, but now all over the country, more and more communities are building amazing facilities like this. So it's great to see.
That is cool. And Dr. Klein here in Brigham City, kind of like the father of pickleball around here, has done a great job. This is a wonderful tournament with world-class players who are here from all over the country. It's a great thing for the community. But just this facility in here and what they have built, which means when I come down here, I'm sometimes surprised at how many people from the community are just coming here for the recreation.
Exactly. And I was here last night, and they were running open clinics. Kyle running the tournament all day, and then you look over, and he's over, doing a free clinic. Kyle Klein, with so many locals here. I mean, the courts were absolutely full last night. Under the lights. And, that's what helps grow the sport is, people like Kyle Klein. So, again, I appreciate your time. Do me a favor just for the viewers. Introduce yourself so everybody knows who you are and what you do here for the state of Utah. I appreciate you being with us.
Well, when you're a congressman, sometimes you don't want people to know who you are and what you're doing. But I am still...
You're obviously doing a great job, so we're going to bypass that.
I'll accept that one. Now, I'm Rob Bishop. I represent the 1st District in Utah. Brigham City is part of it. It's also my hometown here.
All right. Rob, hometown resident and congressman. I'm Randy Coleman here. Tournament of Champions, center court, doing a little video with one of our Washington congressmen. Thank you for sitting in with us today. Look forward to watching the gold medal match coming up next with Ben Johns and Tyson McGuffin. You picking a winner on this one?
I wouldn't dare try that one.
That is a smart politician right there. So again, Randy Coleman, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.